Good morning. We have a little bit of a different angle we're going to try here today. Good morning. Oops. Wait, hold on. I don't need to hear myself talk. So how many of you, good morning, how many of you remember in the 1980s when it was all the fashion to have your blazer sleeves scrunched up? And if you were in the know, you knew about these elastic bands that you put on your sleeves and you scrunch the sleeves up and then they just stayed there all day. I wish I still had some of those elastic bands because we're going to do some jelly printing today, which is why the table is set up the way we are. And you can see my drying rack in the background. I, of course, decided to wear long sleeves today. That wasn't real bright. It's kind of cold in Oregon today. We're expecting a cold front. But anyway, so I thought, well, elastic hair ties will probably work to keep my sleeves out of the way. Enough of my clothes have paint on them already. We don't need to add extra to that wardrobe. I also put my apron on. So I'm just going to put the hair tie like down at the base of my sleeve. And then it just stays. It doesn't slide down. Good morning, Cathra. So that evidently that's Kathy and Petra together. Cathra. Oh my God. I really did have my coffee, I swear. Anyway, if you just use an elastic hair tie or a scrunchie, I didn't want to go downstairs for a scrunchie, so I use the elastic hair ties and then just push your sleeve up and it'll stay and it won't go down. If the sleeves are loose like they are on this sweatshirt I'm wearing, then that'll work just fine. Cathra, because I don't know. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sort of a, for lack of a better word, a jelly plate template. I have a bunch of these like cheap plastic tab dividers. Back in the day, I used to cut my own stencils with my silhouette, and I used these for the plastic for them, which I have mixed reviews about doing it that way because the plastic worked great. This is great plastic for that. It's a little thin, but it works great. But using the silhouette to cut your stencils is a nightmare. That being said, I haven't gotten rid of these because these are great to do hand cut stencils from, which is what we're going to do. So, hey, Darlene. So I'm going to sort of kind of fold it in half and I'm going to just cut, it's February, right? So I'm going to cut a heart shape. Good evening. Try not to cut one that's too big, but that's why I got a whole pack of these out because with my luck, I'm going to do exactly that. That's a little big. Oops. That'll work for one of them, but that's a little bigger than what I wanted. But we're going to save that because I can use it. Let's get another one. This is why I got a whole pack. How is everybody? How are you all coping and managing? I have got some paint here on either side that you can probably, well, you can see this one. You can't see the other one. Is some paint I need to use up. Some of it is golden fluid acrylics. And some of these smell like something died in the bottle. They're so old. Hey, Lisa. So let's try the heart again. Let's try not to go too crazy with how big it is. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So I want a couple of heart templates to work with this morning. So that's why we cut those. All right, let's get started. I think we're going to start with the smelliest one. I think it's the Payne's Gray that stinks. If I'm not mistaken, it smells really bad. Oh, yeah, Kathy, we're getting this cold front in, so you want to make sure that you do that. I mean, oh, no, it's not that one that smells. as I stick it right up to my nose, because you know. Okay. These are so old, you guys. Now these, again, these are golden fluid acrylics. You can use like any paint on your jelly plate. You don't have to use anything fancy. I've got some craft paints over here. I've got Liquitex. I've got Deco Art. Like I've got a bunch of stuff. You can just use anything. We're going to just sort of break things in here. I didn't want it too dark, so I added some white. And the Golden Payne's Gray is more blue than it is black or gray. I'm using dollar store drawing paper, my favorite kind of collage paper, because it has a decent thickness to print with, but it's thin enough to collage with without leaving a lot of bulk in your journal. I am running out of table space. Okay, so I've got a clean piece of paper here. I want to make some marks. Do I want to, I think I want to just start out with some art foamies. I think we're going to just start with some foamies. I got my art foamy designs. I've got some from some other designers, including Inat Kessler and KP. I'm not looking to create anything specific. I just want to make some collage papers. Now, if you don't have a jelly plate, it's a great thing if you like to paint an art journal to add to your Christmas wish list the next time a holiday or birthday or something comes around. But you can do mono printing on a piece of plastic or a piece of craft foam. Oh yeah. So you can't really see the foamy too much because there's a lot of paint on there, but I like that. Now, this is something that I do, which is one of the reasons we're at this angle that we're at. You can see this rack behind me. And this bag, this pocket thing, was in my grandmother's stash of stuff when she passed away. I saved it. I think it was my great-grandmother's because of the initials on it. Her name was Chizira. And they're Lucarati, and there's a CL on the bag. So anyway, I have these clips with a hook on them. They're like curtain hooks. And this is a clothing drying rack. And so then I just clip a hook to the top and I just hang it off the rack. Easy peasy. I usually print enough that I fill up the whole rack when I do. And this is what the hooks look like. Just for a close-up shot. You can get these on Amazon. I got these at Daiso, but they do have something similar on Amazon. If you search clip hook or curtain clip hook. Okay, I'm just catching up on the chat. Okay. Let's keep going, shall we? All right, so pink. Let's do some pink. Actually, let's do some turquoise. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to do turquoise. I want to build up some pattern or marks on this jelly plate. Add some green. Because a little lime doesn't hurt anything, right? These are Liquitex Basics. Again, I'm just using up what I have. Because this is more of a medium body paint, it's going to take a little bit to spread out. And it's not resistant to the jelly plate. I don't know if you noticed, but with the fluid acrylic, it's resistant to the surface of the jelly plate, so it kind of tries to pull back into itself, and you get all these holes. A little bit of both, Kathy. I do like to and have been enjoying more lately using my own papers in my work. I don't get my jelly plates out a lot. I probably should get them out more. But when I do, I just tend to do a big run of them, and then I just have it around for the next time I need to do some collage or something. All of that being said, I haven't been great about doing my own collage papers and using them in my work. Because to be honest, I've said this for a long time publicly on YouTube. I am the lazy crafter. The frugal crafter is Lindsay Wyrick. And it's easier to just get somebody else's pad of paper. So I usually just do that. But I prefer lately to using my own papers, even like this one, the wipe off paper. That's interesting. So I want to do for this first. So we're going to take our template here that we made. So I'm preferring very much to use the wipe off papers on my current work. And because I've been doing that, I'm looking in the bin where I keep my painting papers going, you don't have enough colors. So, and I have jelly plates and I, don't use them enough. So how cute is that? So we're going to actually let that dry a little bit. I'm going to move to this one. Hey, Aunt Beck. Yeah, so that was one of my issues. So this jelly plate here that we're going to let the paint dry on a little bit is the original jelly plate I first bought. And to be honest, it kind of is like warped and misshapen a little bit. I don't know if the material it's made out of is kind of drying out or it's just, I don't know. But I'm going to use it until it's not usable anymore. And yeah, sometimes the roll-off papers are, this is just the one I just did. It's not very dark, but it's interesting. I should turn more lights on because, I am in the Pacific Northwest. It's kind of dark in here. I don't know if that's going to help, but all the lights are on. All the things for the things, they're all on. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. We're going to move to this one. And let's just grab, I don't know, let's grab some purple. Just because. This is a round jelly plate. I am blessed to have more than one. Okay, that helped. Yay. I don't know if it's going to help. I kind of want to do two colors. So let's do two colors. Let's do blue. Now, you don't want to do purple and like green because you're going to just get brown when they mix together. Let's grab some pink. This is one of the larger round jelly plates. When they came out with the shapes, I added them to my Christmas list, and I was blessed to get a bunch of them for Christmas one year. So my favorite are the little ones, which I have one in front of me. I'll show you how I'm going to use that. One of my favorite things is to use the jelly plates like they're a paint ink pad for my red rubber stamps, which is something else I haven't done recently much. I'm going to roll the extra paint off on this jelly plate we're kind of letting dry. A la Patty Tolly Parrish, if you haven't watched her channel recently. She does these kind of things. I'm going to grab one of my red rubber stamps. And let's see. Let's do choices. I have to make choices. We'll just make a few choices because I don't know about picking just one. So I put some red rubber stamps on a block. which they just fell off, but that's okay because they're dirty because I don't clean things. And I'm going to push it there and then print on the paper. So you can print with your red rubber stamps on paper by using your jelly plate as an ink pad. And you get really good crisp prints. Let's see, do I want to add? Yeah, I might want to add, let's add to this one. Yeah, so that works too. So I've done that and I cleaned the brayer off on a piece of canvas that's next to me. That's cool. Let's do this color. What color is this? Helps if I put these on. It just says grayish blue. This is Amsterdam acrylic. Hello, Linda. Okay. I don't usually jelly plate on camera because jelly print because there's a lot of other artists out there that I think probably do it better than I do. Ada cloth is the kind of cloth that you cross stitch on. I want to grab this thing. So this is like a roller ball. I think this is a back massager or something from the dollar store, and it has bumps on it. It does that. Your mark making materials don't have to cost a lot of money. Yeah, it had a name. It's a cross stitch fabric. Comes in different size weaves, but oh, that would be cool on a journal page. That one's gonna get hung up because I like that one. Move the rack closer to me so I don't have to constantly step over the cable. And let's see. That one's getting a little muddy, so we'll hang that one up. The other thing about doing these, don't feel like you have to do some like perfect work of art with each print. Sometimes the ones that are ugly and muddy make the best collage paper. I really like this one just the way it is, so we're going to leave that. Okay, next, I'm going to put some Payne's Gray on this and some, let's do Titan Buff. Yeah, usually at an estate sale or yard sale, you can pick up those kind of things pretty inexpensively because, you know, more often than not, somebody's not crafting anymore, or unfortunately somebody's passed away and, you know, they're cleaning out their stash. I have a lot of brayers. I tend to pick these up at like art salvage places and stuff. They come in supremely handy. Okay, we're going to put this on here. I'm going to do some more of those like art prints, so with the heart. We're going to do some of those. We're going to just let that sit there for a second. Let's get out some green. I think I want to do green. Maybe I want to do green. I don't know. Oh, thanks. Hey, thanks, Michael Ann. It was a long, hard road to get to the place where I have this big space. My old room was 10 by 10 spare bedroom. To be honest, when we were moving and looking at homes, you know, my husband looked at the garage. I looked at the art room. So I was like, ooh, I like this one. Very blessed. Okay, now I'm going to use the other part of that heart stencil I cut out of plastic a few minutes ago, and I'll put that there. I'm going to take a piece of paper, put this here, and rub it in. And in the meantime, hope that my other paper hasn't dried down to the jelly plate, because that would be bad. Let's see. Nope. Oh, that's a cool print, I can tell you already. That's pretty cool. That one's going to get hung up. I like that. That would be a great journal page. So that's that one. Lift up the plastic. Yeah, grungy. I love it. And, you know, your artwork doesn't have to be perfect. Grungy is good. You know, I teach classes all the time and on YouTube and other places. And, you know, sometimes I get stuck in a rut where I'm just teaching, you know, more of proper painting. And then I think to myself, it doesn't have to be about that. It just can be about grungy mark making. Sometimes it's easy to lose sight of that, though. And sometimes when you're making prints, this is your favorite painty paper. The roll-off paper. That's like a really great paper. Okay, so I want to do something with that. The question is what? I think this is perfect. This is another one of my art foamies. This is the arrow one. My problem with the gel plate is usually getting the stamp on here like this and then not wiggling it and getting it to be blurry, because I want to wiggle it, which you shouldn't do. Let's see. And just massage your paper in there. Well, lost the heart, but that's okay. Let's put another bunch of paint on there. Let's see. What color is that? Ooh, turquoise. Wow, I forgot how bright that color is. That's a bright color, which is cool. Let's get out this one. So I'm gonna, take this stamp and run it around the edge. But I'm not gonna waste the paint on the stamp. I'm printing it off on the painty paper next to me. I'll show you in a minute. And these are great collage elements for your art journal. Look at that. And because you've done it with acrylic paint, when it dries, it's not going to smear when you glue it on. Do I want to put anything in the middle? Maybe. I'm really bad about cleaning my stuff, just FYI. You should clean paint off of things. I'm bad about it. Just so you know. This is a feather stamp from a different set. I guess this is where I should do the sales pitch. You can get my Art Foamy designs at Art Foamy's website. The link is in the video description. And all of my stamps and stencils in my Etsy shop are on sale. There's a coupon code until the 20th of February. Do I want to layer that on this? Ooh, maybe. I don't know if I'm going to be able to line it up exactly, but let's try it. Okay, we're just jelly printing, so that's cool. Good luck getting into town and getting what you need. Oh, yeah, glad I did. Look at that. That's cool. They're all tangled together. They don't want to come undone. Okay. All right, next. What else did I pull out here? I pulled out this one. I know, wasn't that cool? Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's some stamps in there I want to use. Okay. Let's use that one. What colors do we want? Do you guys have a color preference this morning? You know, I never do anything with like oranges because it's not my favorite color unless I'm adding a little bit of a highlight to something. Let's try orange. This is a Martha Stewart Crafts paint. This is one of her watercolor paints, I think. I'm not crazy about the texture because it's like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. But we're going to use it up. Use it or lose it. And you know what? I'm going to add a little bit of pink to that. I would love to, if you guys are in any of my Facebook groups or you're in Patreon or in the YouTube membership or something, and you have the ability to share some of what you're doing, I'd love to see you do something like jelly printing or making your own DIY painty papers using what you have. If you don't have a jelly plate, then using a piece of craft foam, or there's a lot of paint on there, using a piece of craft foam or a silicone mat or something, or just painting colors on. I would love to see what you're doing. There's a lot of paint on there, and there's a lot of paint on the brayer. I'm gonna roll that off because I went crazy. All right. Let's get this out of the way. This is a handwriting stamp of mine from one of my stamp sets. Whoops. See, so much paint on there that, did you see that? Oh, that's funny. That is too funny. So that's what the stamp set looks like when you can get it to stamp properly. Hopefully your stamps and stamp blocks are clean. Mine are not clean. Let's try giving it a quick clean with a baby wipe, because yeah. Now you should, when you're stamping with your stamps, your red rubber stamps, clean them after. I have an old, I think it's a Creative Memories like stamp cleaning thing. I don't remember what it's called. It looks like it's like a plastic folder that has like Velcro-y stuff on both sides. You spray it with some cleaner and then you rub your stamp on it and it takes all the paint and ink off. Yeah, that's better. You know, that's not a color I normally use much, but I'm liking it in combination with the pink and the buff. I'm running out of table space. That's the biggest problem with jelly printing, is you run out of table space, no matter what the size of your room. So that's what that looks like. So now I have a whole sheet of those, which is cool. Again, great collage, DIY collage elements. So we'll hang that up because I love the way it looks. We will print this. And I'm going to just probably leave that on there for a minute and see if it catches any of the dark paint that was stuck to the jelly plate, like around the edges. I'm kind of hoping it does. Okay, and then we're going to take some Titan Buff over here, I think. Ooh, no, maybe we're not either. Maybe we're going to take the turquoise. No, take it back. Paint's gray. Michael Ann, I'm the same way. I rarely clean my stamps or stencils. I mean, this is the way I've opened this box. You can see how black they are. I make all my stamping friends cringe. My stencils are the same way. If I use medium on them, then I do clean them, because the medium will do crazy things to your products. And if you use stencils with medium, you really need to clean. Otherwise, it's not great for your stencils. But other than that, and to clean them, I just soak them in a tub of Murphy's oil soap and then just let that go. I'm going to use this one down here. So you just get like a plastic wash tub, fill it with some water, put your stencils in it and some Murphy's oil soap, and just let them soak in there. If your stencils are like mine and they've been with paint and stuff on them for a while, forever, leave them in there for 2 or 3 days. And when you pull them out, the paint and stuff should just peel right off. Okay, let's lift this one. Oh, it's pulling up some. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. Hey, Barbara, I saw you come in. Just doing some simple jelly printing. Nothing complicated. Okay, do I want to? Let's try a different color, because I keep pulling the same colors. I have colors in here. I don't remember the last time I used. Here's gold. Like, I'm not a huge metallic person, but here we go, gold. And you know what? I'm going to put this on this painty paper that's next to me. I'm going to do that. And we're going to put this. This is the cover of the pad, which is fine. Use it all. Don't waste anything. Okay. See, that's grungy and really dark. And on its own, not a super attractive print. But I could see elements of this onto some of my daily journals as collage paper. That would be really interesting. Yeah, so Michael Ann, if yours are like mine, they're going to need to soak for a while. Sometimes, if it's been a long time since I've done it, I've had to soak them for a week. That being said, you can't really do that with your stamps. Whether they're foamies or red rubber, you can't really do that. But with the stencils, soaking them works really, really good. Oh, that's kind of cool. And that's the cover piece of paper. Again, for those who missed it, who are just coming in, the paper I'm using is from the dollar store. Dollar Tree to be specific, but whatever dollar store you have near you. Our Dollar Tree sells these 30-sheet sets of drawing pad paper for the whole thing for $1. And they are my favorite kind of paper to use in the art room for making prints of some kind. Papers I know I'm going to use later for collage. Okay, and I want to keep working with these because they look interesting. Let's see. Do I want to? Let's do this first. Now on the red rubber stamps, you can just wipe it with a baby wipe when you've gotten in there with paint. And just do this. It comes right off usually. See? But if you have one of those old stamp cleaner things that you know it opens, does anybody remember what those are called? I don't remember. But I don't remember a lot of things. Okay. Colors I don't normally use or gravitate to. I can tell you one, yellow. Let's just try it. It's in my stash of colors because yellow is a color you need to have for blending and mixing and for creating highlights. It's not my first color I gravitate towards. But let's grab it and let's add some of this green gold. And let's add some of that Titan Buff. Probably way too much paint, but let's try it. Yeah, Barbara, I'm just having one of those days where I'm feeling like I'm needing more coffee. I have enough paint on here to, I think, to ink up both jelly plates. I don't know if that's good or bad. Yeah, there's definitely enough to ink up both jelly plates. Okay, we're going to use our back massager thing, which doesn't want to roll right now, but that's okay. It's making lines. And I've got all kinds of like DIY tools. This is one I showed recently. This is just made from, you could do this with straws. So anybody who's bought new paintbrushes, sometimes they come with a little plastic cap on the end to protect the bristles. These are all of those little caps from a batch of new brushes I bought. And I just glued them together. And I'll show you, let me pull this and I'll show you what it looks like. Let's put that there. Put some of the foamies back in the bin. Put this one here. Hey Peg, happy Tuesday. We are just making some jelly prints. Okay, that's interesting. So You can see the pattern that it makes down here. The color's not super dark, but I have to say it's lime green. It's got a little bit of that purple in there. It came out kind of muddy, and as its own, not super attractive, but as a collage paper, I can see the possibility in this picture. Let's see what this one turned out like. Ooh, that's a pretty collage paper. It's a great day for printing. I agree with that. It's as long as I have all the lights on anyway. We have a cold front coming in. I mean, I do live in Oregon, so that's not a surprise this time of year, but we're supposed to have a few days of possible snow. I don't know how much. I don't live in an area that gets a lot, but you never know. This is, you know, the decade of Mondays, so I want to add more to these, and I want to pull, let's see. I think I'm going to use the Payne's Gray. Oh, no, I'm not either. I'm going to use a turquoise. Ha. Turquoise. I like this turquoise color. This is turquoise, phthalo turquoise. I'm going to do both of them. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to add some Titan Buff to this one. And a little bit of gold. We're going to see if we can clean off the jelly plate by getting some of this extra paint to pull off. We'll see. And I'll show you that wipe off paper I just did just now. It's very cool. Pretty color. So again, this is just a wipe off paper. I like that. So I'm going to save that. I've got this clean here. And what did I do with the straws? What did I do with them? Anybody see them? Did I put them away? Oh, they're there. Got them. Squirrel. Wipe off papers are sometimes the best papers. I don't disagree with that. I'm going to catch up on the comments in just a minute. I want to get paper on these before they dry too much. Okay. A light turquoise to the yellow leftovers. That's a good idea, whatever's left on these. I do have a light turquoise color. This is Amsterdam turquoise green. And I also have bright aqua green from Liquitex in the paints I'm trying to use up. Warmed up to 0 today. Oh, Peg, I'm sorry. An hour west of Astoria. Oh, yeah. Okay. So you know what I'm talking about. Like we're getting socked in. Oh, you guys. Oh, I love that one. Okay, we have to save that one. Now, every now and then I make these, and there's one or more I feel like I need to scan because there's no way you're going to ever duplicate that. At the same time, you look at it and go, that's one I'm going to want to use over and over and over again. So scan it, make it into a digital image that you can use and print over and over again. Or if you have an Etsy shop, sell in your Etsy shop. I like Astoria. I like to visit there. Not that we're doing a lot of that right now, but you know. Hang all these up. I will tell you, if you need places, a place to dry your painty papers, this clothing rack that I got, this is a folding clothing rack. I actually got it on Amazon way before COVID. it does a great job. There's paint left on here, so I'm going to take Barbara's suggestion. I've got this kind of lighter turquoisey aqua color. I'm going to add some Titan Buff too. And we're going to put that on here. That one was so great. You never know what you're going to get when you are doing these, and some of them come out, you know, gross, but they're all interesting, and that one is really cool. Okay. So I think I'm going to use this one. This is another red rubber stamp of mine. It's just some little crosses. And we're going to do this. Actually, let's do that on a clean piece of paper. Just make some random marks, which is against my nature. I tend to want to go in order. Randomness does not come easy to me. Fun fact. Okay. Then let's grab the straws again. I put this together not long ago. I had to buy some new brushes because I'm really hard on my paint brushes. And since I did this, I was going to throw them away, but since I did this, it's become my favorite mark making tool. Okay, let's grab a clean piece of paper. Yeah, I do have a similar design in a stencil, and that's probably the one you have. And yeah, I do think IKEA has a similar clothing drying rack, and you know, it folds up when you're not using it. So if you have a really small space when you're not using it, you just fold it up and stick it in the closet. But when you want to do painty papers, then you have it. And this is a much bigger room than my old one, but I don't have a lot of space to like hang papers to dry where they're not going to be in the way. So the folding clothing rack works great for me. All right, let's see what this one did. I'm going to leave that sit on there a little longer. I'm hoping it picks up some of the paint around the edges. It might not though. I might need, you're not wrong, Peg. We might need to do something about that. So there's that one. How much I love that one. It's become a great mark making tool. Next, I want to put something dark on this one. Let's go with the Payne's Gray. Oh, nice. We have so much food here. I don't need to go out. We have leftover rouladen from Christmas that are in the freezer. I made chili for the Super Bowl, and there's tons of that left over. We do not need to go anywhere. Who doesn't love a good Giro? I mean, you know, heathens, that's who. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Let's grab another stamp. Let's try the moons. Oh, this is another one of my art foamies. It's the moons. I'm going to try adding it to this one. Oops. We have a Giro place that's near the house, actually. It's near the grocery store. Every time we drive by, we think, oh, we should try that. And we still haven't done it yet. It's been 3 years. We keep driving by. See, that's an interesting paper. What are your favorite mark making tools? Budget friendly ones. We'll keep it budget friendly for folks that are struggling right now. There's always ways to do interesting art and interesting marks and art journaling without spending a ton of money. If you can invest some money into your art, if you have the money, I would say some things like a jelly plate. You don't need a whole bunch of them. You just need one, but they are really great. Oh, the cluster of leaves on the vine is a good one. And to be honest with you all, you know, I give the companies that I'm working with a folder of images and designs, and I give them access to it, and I just tell them, okay, this is what I have, pick what you want. And they pick that one. I didn't think that they would pick that one, but it's a really great one. So that's kind of a muddy mess, but I like it, especially little elements of it. Like right here, can you see there's just a little spot of like orange and yellow and gold. Q-tips work great. I did see that, Peg. Q-tips are a great mark making tool. I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to buy stamps and stencils because, hello, that's like shooting myself in the foot because I make stamps and stencils, but they're nice to have. But if you don't have a budget for that, there's other things you can do that you probably have around the house or things that you're maybe throwing in the trash that make great mark making tools, like these paintbrush caps. You could do this with straws. If you've got different size straws, like regular ones and bobbly straws and some different size straws, and put them together. I just hot glued them. Teflon hot pads, yep. Muddy mess prints make the best collage paper. I'm putting, oops, I guess I better shake that up first. It's been sitting for a while. I'm going to put two colors together. I wouldn't normally. I have a yellow. What is this? Americana lemon yellow, and this is Americana winter blue. Oh, that's better. The other thing too is, you know, if you're wanting to do art and you have old supplies that have been sitting in your closet forever and you're wanting to do some art, you don't have to buy new stuff. Use what you have. This is like an interesting yellow gray color. I think that's really interesting. And let's add, speaking of vine stamps, it's my favorite, most well-used art foamy stamp I have. I don't know if you guys can see this on camera because you're kind of at a funny angle, but the Americana paint is resisting the jelly plate. I'm guessing it's because some of the medium, the paint bottle wasn't shaken up enough, but I love the kind of mottled effect that we're getting with the paint. That happens sometimes with the watercolor paints too on the jelly plate, which you can use. I think I'm going to want to let this one kind of dry on here. So let's see. We're going to let that dry a little bit like that is, and we're going to see what happens. The best way to clean off your art phobies is just to stamp them. You can like wipe it off with a baby wipe. Yep, old yoga mats. The bottom of, I have one that's from the bottom of a old pair of flip-flops. Like if you go to Dollar Tree and they have the summer sandals, The rubber sandals, the bottoms of them usually have interesting patterns. But yeah, you can get mark making tools out of anything. And I'd love to see you all share about what your favorite mark making tools in whatever art groups that you're in. You know, we should start conversations about sharing what kind of tools that we're using and, you know, budget friendly ways to do things, inspiring others to make interesting art with found objects. Speaking of which, one of the things I have to do today is to clean out my salvage bin because it's overflowing again. I do the bin system because otherwise I have a tendency to save everything and I would fill up my whole house with things that I could use, quote unquote, someday. And yeah, so my bin is full, so it needs to be cleaned out. Yes, the inside rings from a roll of tape. I probably have some of those around here somewhere. Bottle caps. Evidently, I like to save bottle caps. So this is just, I showed this one recently. This is just cardboard. This is just cardboard glued together in a pattern. This is a champagne cork. That's a good idea, Barbara, with the Murphy's and water. It's not like I don't have spray bottles around here. It's just it's just a little cardboard cluster, and I've got bigger sheets with littler ones in between, and then I just glued them so that one end is flat to make marks with. And when I do this, I usually just keep going until my rack is full, and then I'm done for a while. Still wet. Let's work on this one while that one like dries down a bit. I do have a tendency to save way too many mark making tools or make too many of them. And then I try them and I don't always love them all. That doesn't mean I need to keep them all just because I made it. So there are some mark making tools that no longer suit or I don't love that are in some purge boxes right now in the Etsy shop. I just thought I saw a hair or something on the brayer. But you know, try some things. Maybe you'll find something that you like. Before you throw it away, it doesn't hurt to give it a shot in your art room. Do I want to just try to pull that, or do I want to put some mark? I think I want to do this. Let's see. To some whole sheets from these. So then, yeah, so I have some craft foam stamps I made back in the day, way before I started designing stamps. That are there's nothing wrong with them. They just don't suit me. And so that's some of what's in the purge boxes right now. I don't need to keep every single thing that I've ever done. Which is funny that I say that because I'm the person that has trouble getting rid of my artwork. Just FYI. It's a thing. I'm going to use Payne's Gray on this. Hopefully it's dry enough. And we'll add a little bit of the turquoise. I I need to get busy and do my daily art. Oh yeah, daily art is always good. I'm doing challenges in my 2 Facebook groups, Peg, and I have a bunch of old prompts from like daily drawing prompts from like sketchbook school and stuff that I never did. And I still have that prompt sheet. So I'm just catching up on all of those this year. But there are like prompt lists out there all over the place, old ones and new ones. I'm still doing daily art at night before I go to bed. I do like 3 different things and then share them on social media and then go to bed. So let's see. That one's pretty. We have daily words over in My Creative Year, and then we have monthly mood board inspiration in a life of art and self-expression, just FYI, for anybody who's interested. How cool is that? Normally I wouldn't do that, like gray, yellow, green colors like together like this. That's an interesting collage paper. The only challenge I have with making my own collage papers when I'm doing these kind of jelly print sessions, and the reason that I'm liking today's session is because I have lots of other colors out. Otherwise, I just pick 4 colors and just do those same 4 colors, and then I end up with like 20 of the same colors of paper, which doesn't really solve my I don't have enough collage paper problem. Watercolor doodles work. I'm going to put some Naples yellow on this. And I think a little bit of gold. Not sure why I have this big giant thing of golden fluid acrylic and gold, but okay. We'll put a little bit of the phthalo turquoise. Again, we have too much paint, but you know, par for the course for me when I'm jelly printing. And because I have 2 jelly plates, I can just brayer it off on the other one. All right, let's see. Let's do this one. Okay, and let's do this one. So one of the things I want to remember to do when I'm doing this is to get some of these rubber stamps of mine into the mix and print them off onto some of the paper so that I have them for collage elements later. Because then I have something like that, which is wonderful, that I can take as a whole sheet or tear it up and just do individual ones and use it in my work. Okay, so we're going to take that, and that's going to get hung up. We're going to take these and put them on clean paper. So this is an old conference table. There's some video footage about the table coming up in the vlog tomorrow. The space I have to work on is about, well, if I moved the water buckets that were at one end. So right now it's about 60 inches long and it's about 18 inches deep, which is a nice big place to work on when you're doing something like this. I never managed to have the desk be completely clear. There's always like tools and things here. Seems to always, I clean it off for a little while and then things migrate back. So I give up. Ooh. That one's pretty. I could see this ripped out around the edge so that you have sort of an uneven edge, and then that glued to a journal page and have that be the focus of a journal page with maybe some words. Well, words are on all my work, but that's cool. All right, let's see what this one looks like. It's less interesting, but interesting nonetheless. It needs more. So we'll leave it there. Okay, let's see. Colors. Any particular colors y'all want me to use next? Because, you know, you leave it to me, I'm going to use the same old colors. Ooh, we have transparent Pyrol Orange. That's not a color I use much. The round jelly plate's one of my two favorites. So I like the round jelly plate and or one of the small ones because they're great for making prints directly into your art journals. This is the really small one. My favorite one though is this one. We're not using it today, but this is 5x7. Yeah, 5x7. You don't need a huge one. I mean, the huge ones are nice, but I think it might have been Barbara. So this is Pyrol Orange. Totally not a color I use much unless I'm adding highlight to something. That is not a color I grab for often. And I should use the gold because obviously this isn't a color I grab for often either. Again, don't know why it's in my stash, but this bottle is nearly full. And Lord knows how long I've had this. But at least it's not the one that stinks. I don't remember now which one that is, but one of them smells like something died in the bottle. Let's add some turquoise. I think it's going to be a problem. It's going to create an issue. Oh, I just got paint all over myself. Hence wearing the apron and having hair ties on my sleeves. Okay. Oh, this is going to be an interesting color combination. We'll see. I don't know about that. Oh, yeah. Interesting. And there's a lot of paint. It'll make interesting paper, though. See, and that's what the colors are going to look like. Interesting. Okay. Now, I do have silicone pot holders. They make great marks. So this is a honeycomb one, so it makes marks like that. Let's see. Ooh, let's use this one. So this is a homemade mark making tool. This is cardboard, regular cardboard in the back, and then this thick, like packaging cardboard cut into pieces on the front of it. Yeah, when I got my jelly plates, there was only the one brand. Now there's multiple brands. And so get the one that's affordable for your budget and has the size that works for your artwork and how you create things. That's one of my favorite homemade stamps. Made it a long time ago. We bought something, and I don't remember what it was now. Probably a piece of IKEA furniture or something. And that thick cardboard came as part of the packaging material. And I, of course, immediately went, ooh, that's interesting. And so I saved it and cut some pieces of it off and glued it to that cardboard. And I've used it ever since. It's a great mark making tool. And there's nothing wrong with watercolor doodles lately, Peg. I don't know if I said that, but I love me a good watercolor. Now see, that's not colors I would normally use together, but that makes interesting collage paper. You know, the whole thing might be something that you're not attracted to, but what if you just did this like a little piece in a journal page? That's interesting. Let's see. Yeah, see, same with that one. Definitely, Barbara, or a background for something else. I agree with that. See you later, Michael Ann. And we're around if you need motivation. You need help with that. We're going to put some pink. There's a lot of really great Facebook art groups. So if you all need help staying motivated, conversations with like-minded individuals, find one of your favorite content creators and join their community. Most of them have some sort of Facebook community. And if you need to speak to them and you need some help with something, message them. Support the free content here on YouTube and over in the Facebook art groups by checking and seeing how you can do that with your favorite content creator. They'd appreciate it, I'm sure. We all would. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do this. That's actually very interesting. I'll hang all these up in a minute. I want to take, where's that heart thing I made? Okay. So let's take the heart stencil, the DIY heart stencil that we made, and let's do that. And let's take this kind of wipe off paper that's kind of okay, but not my favorite thing. And let's do this. So that's cute. Running out of room again. Okay. Put this down here. Ooh. Look at that. That's interesting. Okay, let's do this one. And do we want to do the same thing? I think we do. Let's see. Hey, Janet, how are you? We are just jelly printing. I am making a mess and trying not to get my clothes in the stuff. Because, you know, see, that's cool too. Trying not to get my clothes painty, like that's a challenge constantly. I don't think I own too many things that do not have paint on them. Let's hang some of these up because I'm running out of room to just throw things. If you're going to do one of these drying rack setups, get clips with a larger size hook on them. Then you'll know they'll fit easily. Some of these I can see using in some of my daily journal work later tonight. So if you want to see what I do with some of these, follow me on social media, because there's a couple of them I think I'm going to bring downstairs when they're dry to use tonight, because they look very inspiring. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see if we can pull some more of this up. Hey, Laura. See, that's cute too. All right, let's see. I like to play with my jelly plate, but of course the queen of jelly printing, in my opinion, is Shell C. She's really great at it. Okay, that's, how cute is that? Now, if you were going to do an art journal page for Valentine's Day, you could, use this as the base part of your background. You could do some journaling in the white space of the heart. That would be cute. I'm trying to untangle my clips because Sue, hey, how are you? All right, so we've kind of let this dry a little bit, this one more than that one. I don't think it's dry completely, but I want to see if we can like pull more of that off. Let's see. I'm going to do something crazy. Do I have like brown? Like brown, again, that's a color I don't use much. This is, what color is this? Raw sienna. I'm squinting at the bottle because God forbid I should take the reading glasses off the top of my head where they're sitting right now. I don't know why I'm not doing that. All right, so I'm going to put brown on here. This is not a color I use much because, I don't know, it's just not one of the best colors on the planet, I don't think. Okay. I want to try to pull. I know why. So I use it in certain applications. It's the appropriate color when I'm doing certain paintings. But this particular color reminds me a little bit too much of baby poop. So, there's that. Browns are good for some things. I tend to like, instead of that raw sienna color, I tend to like ones that are more cooler browns. Like this one is Van Dyke brown, which is one of my more favorite colors. But all the colors have a place in your work. They all have an appropriate place and time. Let's see. And that's an interesting paper. It's an interesting background, especially like elements like this little bit around the edge. That would be good on something. I do think we're going to try to do a pull. I think I want to let these, like, this one's more dry than that one. We're going to let that one go for a bit. I think I'm going to add, we're going to do something crazy. Do I have black in here? I probably do. Yeah. Yeah, black. They're exactly nature tones. Right now, one of the daily prompts I'm doing is one of the older word lists that I've had for God knows how long. And it's all florals. So last night was sunflower. And I was like, do I have a brown, natural colored highlighter pen down here? Something to add some brown color to this. It's not a color I normally use in my daily drawings, but I did have one in my bag, so yay. I want to try to pull a lot of this paint off. We'll see if I manage. She does, definitely. Now, when I do jelly printing, I usually make a point of using up one whole pad of this dollar store drawing paper. And I try to do like clean off prints like I'm trying to do right now to just get the rest of the paint off. You can also clean it off with like packing tape. Let's leave that a little longer. Ooh. Oh, and that got almost all the paint off the round jelly plate. I kind of like that. Getting some good prints this time. Can't always say that's true. Ooh. Look at that. That is cool. I like that one. I want to try to get the rest of this off, and I'm thinking, I wonder if I can get it off onto here without doing, I don't want to cover all of this up. Let's see. Let's just try some of the Titan Buff, just a little bit of it. Let's see if we can do this without adding too much paint. You know, mono printing is how I started my YouTube channel. I was taking a class. One of the lessons was mono printing. I didn't have a jelly plate. She was talked about it, and I couldn't understand why you would want to do printing with paint with jelly. I didn't understand what she was talking about. So I did the lesson a different way using what I had on a hard sheet of acrylic. And she liked what I did, but she didn't understand how I did it since I didn't know what a jelly plate was. So I did a video to show her. YouTube was the only place that I could figure out where to post it. That video is still on my YouTube channel. Mono printing without a jelly plate, I think. I love clean off prints. Clean off prints are great. It's not pulling all the paint off, but it is pulling some. Now, I'm kind of thinking I want to do this. Let's see. I've got more. Oh yeah, this one, that made this one more interesting. That's even better. Why does that remind me of Mike Deacon? Or something steampunky. That might be why it reminds me of it. You can also clean off the old paint with like packing tape, but I kind of like, I'm with the rest of you, I kind of like using the super light colors or black or the Payne's gray to do these wipe off prints. I used to be really crazy about getting every single little piece of paint off my jelly plate. I'm not like that anymore. As long as most of it's off, I don't really care too much if there's a little bit left on there. It just adds some interest to the next time I do some printing. And again, if you do this and you create some prints you really love and you have the ability to scan them and turn them into a digital copy, then you can sort of bank them in your computer. And the next time you just want one sheet, rather than doing a whole jelly plate session, you can just go back to that bank of images that you've made and print that one off. Oh yeah, that's going to pull most of it. Huh. There you go. How cool is that one? Should we try one more time? What do you think? Where's the fun in that? Well, yeah, you don't have to do it that way. I mean, you could just make them more and more every time that you jelly print. Kind of wondering if I should do one more. We're going to try one more time. Both jelly plates have a little bit of paint on them. Wow, there's a paint I haven't opened in a while. That did not want to open. Okay. This is transparent yellow iron oxide. It's basically just enough paint to like get the jelly plate wet, maybe. Maybe not even maybe. We'll see. I've got a couple more sheets of paper left on my pad, so it's a good thing we're doing this. Okay, let's do this one. This one doesn't have much paint on it, but that's okay. There's some stuff around the edges. Yes, please. Thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And again, if you have a favorite content creator, please support them, not only here on YouTube, but over in the Facebook art groups. However you can, monetarily, sharing their videos, sharing their work, thumbs upping their work, all of the things for the things because of the things. You know what to do. The edge of this doesn't want to pick up, but let's see. It did pick up some. Okay, that's interesting paper. Look, I just, there's not much to that, but how interesting is that for just a piece of background paper or something to use in a junk journal or something? Oh, this one too. There's more paint left on the jelly plate than I thought, and it did pick up some of what was on the edges. We have one more piece of paper. I would like to see if I can get the rest of the edge off on this one. So let's try that same color. Yeah, this is the Golden's Fluid Acrylic. It's transparent yellow iron oxide. And until recently, I hadn't opened these fluid acrylics since I moved almost 3 years ago. They had been sitting. And as I said in the beginning when we started, one of them smelled like death when I opened the bottle. And I don't remember now if it's one I've used up or not, but it was bad. It was bad, bad, bad. If you bend the plate and break up the edges, they come up better. Okay. See, I don't play with these jelly plates nearly enough. So if you bend the plate, oh yeah. Yep. She's right. So because there's some of those other colors on there, you're getting these really neat golden backgrounds that have just little hints of these other colors in it. Those are cool. I kept thinking I have one more piece of paper left, but I actually think is there one more? Yep. One more time. Oh, I was vlogging about this yesterday. I was making a journal because I found a new paper I want to try a particular project on. And so I was making a journal. So I decided to spiral bind it, which is not something I do much anymore, but I got out my Zutter Bind It All, which I do have one, but I hadn't opened the bag since way before we moved. And I found punches and things in there. I forgot were in there. Don't sound so surprised. And so, you know, if you have stuff that's been sitting in your art room that you haven't opened in a while, you think you know what's in there, open it, because maybe you don't really know what's in there. There were 2 punches in there and a couple of other things I forgot were in there. So yeah, I used them yesterday, but yeah. Let's see if we can get that to do one more time. Yep. Look at that. Those are cool. Now these are golden fluid acrylics. They dry a little bit shiny. So if you're going to use them in your journals, then you probably want to cover them when you're done with like clear gesso or matte medium or a wax or something when you're done with your page, because they might stick to each other when you close your book. And then to clean the jelly plate, when you're done, pulling as much as you want to off of there. If you want to clean it, you can just wipe it with a baby wipe. You can give it a little bit of baby oil. That'll help condition the plate so it doesn't dry out. I don't always do this, and I don't always do a great job at it. This is the one that's been used the most because I've had it the longest, and it shows. It's not clear anymore. It has bits and pieces of things stuck to it, and yeah, all the things for the things because of the things. Now sometimes I get to the tape. Let's see. Let's try. Sometimes I do this because it's a little easier. This is just plain clear packing tape. And it just pulls everything off. Doesn't leave any crumbs. Sometimes using the baby wipes and stuff will leave crumbs. And you can like go around the edges. You see that? It just literally just picks up the paint off the... I don't save the tape anymore because I have like lots of now tape with painting marks on it that I'm not even using what I have. So that's a thing. There we go. So you just get it as clean as you can, and then you put it back in its box and store it away. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, any of that stuff? I hope that you just are inspired to get your jelly plates out, get your mark making tools out. If you're saying, well, I don't have a jelly plate, that's okay. Just get out some paper, get out a little bit of paint or ink, get out some mark making tools. See you later, Peg. And just make some of your own DIY papers. You won't regret it. Okay, where did I put the baby oil? There it is. I see it. So this is a bottle of baby oil from the dollar store. I've had the same bottle for a long time. Oh, that's perfect. So when I clean it, I just put a little bit on the jelly plate and then a clean paper towel. And then it helps get the residual whatever off of the plate and condition it a little bit. And then put it back in the box. Make sure you get all the crumbs off. Oops. Like crumb of paint right there. Come off. Off. Off, damn spot. Yeah, I couldn't watch because Super Bowl, I have a house full of people who like to watch football. So, and I was cooking. So then I just put it back in the. One of the things I would like to do is find a large enough metal box to store this in so I could get rid of the plastic clamshell thing that it came in. Because some of my jelly plates, I have repurposed metal like pencil tins. This is a Dina Wakley Scribble Sticks tin. And my small jelly plate fits in here great. Which we didn't use today, but I'm going to leave out because I think I want to use it with some of the rubber stamps that are on the table later. Oh yeah, we'd love to see it later, Barbara. Anyway, you all, just use what you have, make some art. For me personally lately, I don't even turn the radio on right now. I just have nothing on, or I have you guys and one of your videos playing in the background, and I'm just making art. Yeah, so Janice, if any of you find something, I've been looking for one. I've been able to repurpose smaller tins. I have a small round gel plate, and I have some PBO watercolors. They originally came in this. It was the right size to store the small round jelly plate in. So I have that. I would love to have more of them in tins like this more. So that's kind of one of the focus, and I'm glad I have them out today because I might take some measurements and see what I can find on Amazon. It would be nice if they had that option of, something you could buy. I also tend to work on one of these non-stick craft mats when I'm doing this, and that's not because you need to. That's mostly just because I don't want to mess up my table and have to clean it. Because hello, lazy. It's my middle name. That's my thinking, Janice, and I don't understand it. It seems like it's a missed opportunity. I did want to show you guys one more thing. Hold on. So this is it's called a Stampin Scrub. So this is what I use to clean the red rubber stamps with. And let's see. So I just opened this up. This is an all-purpose stamp cleaner. This happens to be by StazOn, but you could just use what you need. I always have one side's the dirty side and the other side's the clean side. And so then when I clean my stamps, which isn't often, but when you've been painting with them, it's a good idea to try to get the paint off. And then see, it's all clean. So this is how that one looks before. So one side's kind of the wet, scrubby, dirty side. And then the other side you kind of dry it off on. I guess I should try to clean the back of it too, because the back is kind of... So, and it doesn't come perfectly clean, but it does clean a lot of it off. Yeah, I would prefer the metal because, I don't know, there's just something about the way they store the metal. Plus they stick really good to the metal, and I think like if I wanted to store them upright on a shelf, like I don't have to worry about it slumping down, because it's really, it sticks to the metal. It is not going anywhere. It's just finding the boxes in all the right sizes is challenging. And they don't have to be round like the one box I have. That one just happens to be what I have. I had that box on hand. So I'll use this one. So I've had this like cleaning thing forever. I'm sure somebody else makes it now, but you can probably find one somewhere. But it does work really well. I don't do this with my stamps unless I've been using paint on them, and I don't do it with my stencils unless I've been using, I don't clean the stencils unless I've been using mediums on them, something thick. And I'm not worried about getting all the paint off. I just don't want the paint to clog the holes of the design in the rubber stamp, which is why you also do it with the stencils with medium. It's not because I'm worried about getting them perfectly pristine again, but I don't want this medium I've been using to clog the holes up in the stencil. That one I might need to put on the block. Nope. I do need to clean the backs of these. These are clean stamps, and they don't know. If you don't keep the back clean, they don't like to stick. Fun fact. There we go. Let's grab a baby wipe on that one. It's a bit juicy. Yeah, the clamshells make me crazy. I don't disagree with that. The clamshells make me crazy. So anyway, if somebody, I do have a few other rubber jelly plates, because again, I've been blessed over the years to get a number of them, but I would like to have boxes to store them in. So if y'all find something, let me know. Send me a link. All right, that's it for today, everybody. I hope it gives you some ideas of what you can do, how you can DIY your own collage papers, simple DIY for a simple stencil or jelly plate mask, both the, I guess, positive and the negative. And just have some fun and make some art. And if you need help and support, there's a lot of great Facebook art groups out there, mine included. They're in the video description in my Linktree list of links. I know Peg and Chelsea have Art Joy Sharing, and a lot of other art groups out there. If you have one, do share. If you're in the Friends Community Facebook chat and you have a great art or resources or group or something, share it with everybody else. And yeah, we will see you next Tuesday, 10 a.m. Please stay safe, stay healthy, stay creative. Please wear a mask. Go out and do something nice for yourself because you deserve it. All right? See you later. Bye, guys. Oh, and let me know what you would like to see next week. You can leave something in the comments down below. You can put something in the chat right now, or you can message me and let me know. And let me know what you would like to see next week. All right. Bye, guys.